Right, well, welcome everyone, and thank you for coming, because this is really quite important. A few months ago, I and 500 or so other people were outside the Chinese embassy here in London, talking about the horrible treatment of dogs and cats for the meat trade in Yulin in China. Now, all of us know that that is horrible, but equally, we should be aware that very much closer to home, here in Romania, in Europe, we have the most awful treatment of dogs as well. Now, if you look at what happened in Romania, you have to go back quite some time. Go back to the 1970s and 80s, when Ceausescu, the dictator, was in control in that country. He took people out of their homes and he put them into flats, and they had to basically give up their dogs. And the dogs became street dogs, large number of animals. But over time, no care and attention was given to those animals whatsoever. And increasingly, they have been being demonized by the government. Now, a few years ago, there was a sad incident of a young boy being killed by dogs. Now, the media and the politicians in Romania jumped on this and said that the dogs that savaged and killed this boy were street dogs living in the city. Well, in fact, we now know that they were not street dogs. They were guard dogs that were responsible for that terrible, horrible event. But that didn't stop the government of Romania legislating for the wide-scale destruction of dogs in their cities. And what we see today in Romania is horrible, because this is a European Union country where there are no animal welfare laws at all when it comes to dogs. So in Romania today, you can quite legally gas a dog, you can shoot a dog, you can treat a dog in a most appalling way by killing it on the streets, and even if the dog is rescued, even if it's rescued and put in one of the so-called pounds that the government run, often what will happen is that this dog will be stuck with 30 or 40 others in a very small caged environment, in the most disgusting of conditions, where it will have no proper water, no proper food. These animals are treated absolutely appallingly. Every day in Romania, dogs are killed on the streets. Every day, huge numbers of animals are hurt. Huge number of animals have real pain issues around what they're being treated, and the world is turning a blind eye. And it's time that people woke up to this and said, listen, Europe as a whole must set down tighter standards for companion animal welfare. It must hold Romania as a European Union country to account. There are some wonderful charities which we've got information on that we're distributing to people today that allow you to go and help these dogs, to rescue them, to bring them back to this country. There are wonderful people in Romania today that are actually risking their lives under threats of intimidation and violence to protect dogs. And what we're saying is that all of us should do everything we can to raise attention to this horror that's going on at the centre of Europe. How we treat dogs, these wonderful companion animals that bring so much care and so much quality to our lives, is very much influenced how we treat people. You can judge a country, as Gandhi said, by the way it treats its animals. Now, this isn't about the people of Romania. There are many good people in Romania who care deeply, as they do in this country, about trying to do something about this tragedy. But what we've got to do is to get the politicians to do something, to get the animal welfare organisations and health organisations in Romania to do something, to get our politicians here in UK and in the European Parliament to take action and to keep up this pressure. What I hope we will have today is a start of a relatively small campaign that will grow, just like we've seen with Taji, just like we've seen with elephants and lions and badgers across this country, that brings thousands of people together, because we're a caring, compassionate society. We can wake up the world to cruelty, and I think every year now we need regular protests here at the Romanian Embassy, regular protests at the Chinese Embassy, to draw attention to the fact that dogs matter, cats matter, the way we treat them matter. We won't put up with this horrible, brutal cruelty for ignorance, greed and corruption anymore. Do you agree? So let's keep fighting, let's raise this issue today. Lots of people walking along here, we'll give them leaflets, we'll make them aware, and we make the Romanian Embassy and their staff here aware that we're going to start coming here regularly, we're going to start holding them to account. We want to bring about economic, political and cultural change in Romania to improve the lives of dogs, which is good for the country Romania, good for its people, but also good for its animals as well. Thank you very much.